Dennis Torres, the CEO from Buffalo Info, a consulting and training company down in Brazil. And he's been working with SQL Server since version 6.5. That means he's experienced. He is a software architect with a specialist in .NET and C# since they were created.
And while he's setting up, since I have the mic, we had 0 women apply to be contestants for this contest. So I want to challenge everyone, not just the ladies and me, everyone to make sure that next year, if we're doing this, which I want to do, I'm hoping we do, that we get at least 20 women. What? Yeah, other years. But I mean, for this year, we got 0 women applying, even though I tried to get people.
He hasn't switched over.
I want to see 20 women apply to be a contestant at Speaker Idol. And I need all of your help to do that. We don't have 20 slots, but I want to see 20 women apply.
Also, to anyone who's applying, speak as much as you can between now and then. And it's not just for practice. I might be revealing secrets about the secret Speaker Idol selection algorithm.
Undocumented. Okay, start the clock. Welcome, and thank you for attending my session. My name is Dennis. This will be a 100-level talk about Central Management Server. First, raise your hands, who has attended my previous session? Nice, very good. This time, I will talk about how I helped John from the bookshop again, and he finally paid a lunch for me. After the first time, John promised to pay a lunch for me. However, every afternoon, he called me, canceling our lunch, and left me hungry for the rest of the day. This was a problem. So I decided to visit him and find out what was happening. I found John overwhelmed by work. I asked him about it, and he explained it. Well, after he helped us with our system, we got a lot of new clients. So we bought 100 new bookshops. Now, every day, I need to connect to every bookshop, one by one, to update product information. If any book is not selling enough, I need to give a discount to it. Interesting. But why don't you automate this process? You could use PowerShell or a SQL agent job. Why don't you automate this process? Well, it takes too much time to create a script for this. I'm too busy. I can't stop my work to do this automation. I understand. Please, raise your hand who already faced a situation like this on this image. This always happens, always happens. So, once again, I said, I may have a solution for you, John. Why don't you use a central management server? You could use the Register Servers window inside Management Studio, register your main office as the central management server, and register all your bookshops below the main office. This will allow you to execute your updates across all the servers at once. He was a bit skeptical, and I started a demonstration for him. First, I registered my default instance in my laptop as the central management server. The registration is the usual registration. However, it's done below the central management servers folder. Then I registered my other 2 instances in the server below the main office. Now I have the main office and 2 bookshops registered. I can select the main office, open a script file, and by executing these updates, we will see the result across both servers, solving the problem. Once again, I saw John's amazed face about the solution. He got enough time to pay my lunch. And I could finally appease my hunger. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So great job. So you chose to change your presentation to a different one. That's, I don't want to say it, not good or bad, either way. But wait. Yeah, no. But it's, you know, bonus points for doing that, I guess, because it's a risk, right? Because you did really well. You did well enough on the first one to win that preliminary round. You also still did a great job live zooming and annotating, which is like a doing a triple axel in the Olympics. Also, you got bonus points from an experienced person like me for using a Northwind database. And, you know, great sense of humor, good energy, easy to dance to, all of that.
Good job. I noticed you used presentation mode in SSMS, which was cool, which I called out the other day. By the way, if those of you who don't know, SSMS version 17 has present on. It doesn't have present off, but it's kind of cool for presentations. Anyway, good job with that. Your motion back and forth on the stage was a little bit distracting, but not terrible. And your images were fantastic. Also, fun fact, the first speaker idol, I believe the winning presentation was on Central Management Server.
Great job. I really like the boldness in going, you know what, let's tell part 2 of this story cold. Really great flow, you nailed the timing. Only thing is when you're doing the demos, just make sure not to have your auditory white spaces linger a little too long. Just a couple of times where you're in the middle of going through an action and just stop for like 4 or 5 seconds. Very, very minor, but.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed part 2 of the story very much. I agree about the movement, and it was interesting because I love your speaking speed in terms of like how you start out and you're not rushed, and the cadence you start with, it just, I feel like you're very relaxed, but then you were moving at a different speed than you were speaking, and that I think is part of what made it feel a little nervous, feel a little mismatched. So if you slow the body movements down a little, just please keep the speaking speed you're at, because I think it's really just fantastic. I love how you create and recap the conversations and do the voices. That's not easy to do, but you do it in just a really charming, accessible, wonderful way that draws people in. Love that so much. Keep that, please.
So good job, by the way, handling your laptop issues, which you also had the other day. And it didn't fluster you, especially because you have live demos. That everything sometimes can snowball and it just becomes a big thing. I did like the fact again that it's been mentioned, but that you did live demo. That's really risky to do when you have literally 5 minutes to tell a whole story, and then go do a demo, right?
And his timing was perfect.
Yeah, you were under for pretty much. We haven't mentioned timing because pretty much everybody's been on time. We also, another thing that we haven't mentioned, just for those of you who were not in the room all week, everybody attributed their graphics. We didn't have to mention that, you need to put attribution for your graphics. So none of this is worth mentioning because everybody got it right. The one thing that, again, pedantic Alan, I understand that you have they were named instances, but you had like Win SQL 2016 / SQL 2017. Like, I would have just called out, I installed some SQL Server 2017 stuff on the box that has SQL 2016. Wow. I said I was pedantic.
I thought that looked like a real environment.
But yeah,
production?
Yeah, just production. Just because, again, for some people it might have been confusing. What is he actually using? Plus, the other thing about that, just from again, it's just if people are wondering where they could go try this, if you say, well, I do this in 2017 and this is my demo, but it's also in other versions of SQL Server. Yeah, no, absolutely. But you were slightly under, so you could have just said, I'm doing this on SQL 2017. You can do this on any version that you have. It's because if people want to go try it, it's almost like a call to action. It's like, oh, I think this is cool. Where can I go do this? But honestly, like I said, that was just kind of me being pedantic. You really did a good job, and this is going to be a tough choice for us because everybody did really well.
Obviously, we're stretching here on feedback.
Yeah, exactly.